O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
This is just a big dance thing that's just stupid. Remember that kind of cool looking 2D animation of this? Well, now we get to see it in kind of broken 3D form, so that's exciting. Hey, I have another visitor in the comments section. Who is it? I can't. The lulsy one. Oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just watching this weird chick do this, like, dance and stuff with some people screaming in the background. And I might get free food later. Well, actually, I don't know. We'll have to see. So these seances are supposed to be a big part of this game, so I hope we don't have to, you know, watch this every time. And if we do, I hope I can skip it. But since this is the first time that we're going to see it, I'll let it go. Oh yeah, it's far from over, by the way, guys. Just to let you know. So everything's going well with Lulsy1 in the comments, in case you guys are wondering. If you want me to ask you how you've been doing, then you should watch me on Twitch. Again, shamelessly plugging myself, I apologize, but it's the best way. It's a lot of fun if you're here. You can tell me how much of a dumbass I am. Because, you know, I'm not going to get everything right away, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not that smart. I know I parade myself as being this intelligent, you know, being with no equal. But really, I'm just a man. Incense. Song of ceremony, boy's voice. Boy's voice. Pain. Yes, Lulsy, this is going on YouTube. What just happened? An image appeared in the pool.
A final message from the victim's soul, the last communication of his metama. The divination seance has revealed this to us.
Her benevolence can use her power of spirit communion to project the victim's memories of the last few moments before their demise. So what we saw in the pool is what Mr. Roll actually experienced? In the victim's memories, we see the accused raising a weapon over his head. This is consistent with the findings of the police investigations. There has to be some kind of mistake. I didn't do it. This looks bad for all of you. Really, really bad. Heh, heh, heh. Now, do you see why I'm the incredible pain? Amazing. More than I can express. But even if those really are the victim's last memories, what can I do with them? Heh heh heh, there it is. There's the face of a man being utterly crushed. Oh, how long I've waited to see it. Isn't it wonderfully gratifying, Your Majesty?
Oh yes, very satisfying indeed. Now, are you finally convinced, traveler? The accused is most assuredly guilty.
Am I really the only unbiased one here? Okay, now then, I think
We've been amused enough. If you would give up now, I wouldn't even invoke the Defense Culpability Act against you. You'd be free to slink back to your own country with your tail between your legs.
The Defense Culpability Act? What's that?
What? You mean you honestly don't know?
No? I'm from out of town, guys, I'm sorry. What's with all the hubbub? Well, well. Not only is he lying, black-hearted lawyer, he's also an imbecile. Your Majesty, I think you'd better explain the Defense Culpability Act to him.
Yes, I think I'd better. The Defense Culpability Act, or DC Act for short, is as follows. In the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In other words, if you help the accused by defending him and he is found guilty, you will receive the same sentence as he.
What kind of insane law is that?
Under the DC Act, many an attorney has been convinced and met with a grim fate.
Or, well, not convinced. Something else. I didn't read it. Anyway.
Some went to prison, others received the death penalty. That's why there are so few in our country today who admit to being an attorney.
Well, no shit. Oh, are we offline? Maybe, maybe not. Let me just... No, it's just shitty. Okay, alright, well... We good? Okay. That's as it should be. Okay, the history of our courts proves that. Attorneys are black-souled creatures who will tell any lie to save the accused. Thus, attorneys deserve to be exterminated. I've never felt so much hostility coming at me from so many sides. What could have happened to make everyone feel this way? Heh. Heh heh heh. Ha 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 ha. You fell right into my trap, Phoenix, right? Your win streak against me and my brother ends today. With the seance and the DC Act on my side, I'll finally get my revenge. You're gonna kill him? That's a little harsh. So that's why he was so eager to have me defend Albie. Oh, are we crashed? Are we crashed? Are we crashed? No, I don't see that little message again, so okay. Is it my laptop? Is just the wireless connection shitty? Sorry guys, I just want to make sure there's everything's good in the hood. It says I'm live. It says alright, it's just my laptop's being shitty right now. I'm sorry guys for holding this up. Anyway. Okay. Chased out and humiliated back home, fate brought me to the foothills of Kurain. I thanked my lucky stars that I'm chief prosecutor here now. Or I thank my
Defense, know that if I rule that accused guilty, that the accused is guilty, you will go to prison too.
That explains Albie's reaction earlier. Okay, defend me, Mr. Wright. What are you saying? You can't do that. Your Majesty, isn't a prison sentence a bit lenient? After all, we're talking about the treason. One should pay for such a crime with one's life. I'm paying? Jeez, man. Dude, bro.
Yes, I believe the death penalty might be appropriate under these circumstances.
The death penalty? No way. You're kidding, right? Your Majesty?
Do I look like I'm kidding? I'll have you put your life on and your dark tainted soul on the line here.
Death? This can't be happening. The courts of resignation. Our courts are well known as thus. Okay. In this land, where my seances provide the truth and no attorneys can intervene. Criminals know that all they can do is resign themselves to their fate. You know, what if it turns out that I'm right and Albie didn't do it and I just happen to find the actual accused? Isn't the prosecutor and Miss Rafa here, aren't they technically supporting them because they're trying to put the blame on someone else? So shouldn't they get the death penalty too? I don't know.
Oh, foreign lawyer, I ask you once more. Are you sure you still want to defend the accused?
Bill? There's Maya to think of in all this, too. I can't just lay down my life. What in the world should I do? Well, first, just in case I have to read this all again, if Phoenix isn't like, no, you can't actually make a decision. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's run like a yellow-bellied chicken. A trial I happened to walk into in a country I just happened to visit. How can I put my life on the line for something like this? Uh-oh. No, Phoenix is gonna be like, nah, dude. I appreciate what you're trying to do, Mr. Wright, but never mind about me. You just go ahead and go see Miss Maya. I think I'll do just that. But what about Albie? She's kind of like a big sister to me. Blah, 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 blah.
Phoenix, you must do what is right, as it is your name.
Isn't this why I became a lawyer in the first place? Well, no. To help those with no one on their side? I can't just abandon everything I believe in. Okay, fine. All I can do now is stand firm and fight. Well, don't hold your tears back on my account, Phoenix Wright. Admit your defeat and grovel before me, the chief prosecutor, for your life.
Objection!
I'm just gonna waggle my little hair dingy bob and firmly state that I'm not gonna do that, even if it means being subject to the defense, to culpability act. I will defend Albie. But Mr. Wright! The defendant insists he is innocent. And not even a divination seance should be accepted without examination. I like this remix of the theme from 3, but it's already been remixed in Dual Destinies, and I was kinda hoping for something different. You know, maybe like a remix of the objection theme from the second game? Because, you know, that hasn't gotten remixed at all, whereas the first and the third game now have been remixed many times. Anyway.
Polku Haka! Polku Nka!
But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me? I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. Ah, yeah, that's right. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it. Okay, ha ha ha, bark, Defendant Attorney, you continue to amuse me. Okay, well, I didn't read what he said. Okay, though your barbed jabs are proving to be more than mere jokes. Your benevolence. Believe me when I say that this attorney will knock your insides out. Insolent, disrespectful attorney. You'll have plenty of time to regret your folly in the Twilight Realm. Is that next to the Twilight Zone? I'ma do it.
Not a wise move, traveler. Not wise at all. You should have taken the chance I offered to save your life. But you have made your choice. The Defense Culpability Act will be applied in this case. And with this verdict, you'll both soon be parting with your heads.
The souls of the departed speak only the truth, and I but give their messages a voice. If you think my insights contain falsehood, I challenge you to prove it. Oh, don't worry. I'm all about proving that shit wrong. Insight. Rafa. I don't know how to say it. Rafa. Insight. The accused swung whatever he was holding down on the victim's head. With the pain, the victim's vision went dark. This is when he lost his life. Still, I can't believe it. A murder after the morning dance of devotion. These are the victim's experiences just before his death. As the victim's final memories, we can assume they aren't lies. So how do I break this down? Allow me to relieve you of your ignorance, defense. Oh yeah, going fast, yeah! Go! Sorry. Did you notice the words that appeared in the seance vision? Come to think of it, I did see words like Song of Ceremony and Incense. The victim's final memories are not limited to sight alone. Sight, smell, taste, sound, touch, all is laid bare in the pool of souls. If that's really the case, then there should be like basically an infinite number of words appearing, but yeah, well, I guess it just zeroes out the main ones, huh? Okay, so what Mr. Roll experienced with his 5 senses appeared in the vision were as words, right? Precisely. And by examining these sensations, we can perceive the victim's final moments with unparalleled clarity. Works for me. I can use all the extra information I can get. Now, to find a contradiction between her insight and the seance vision. Your benevolence, I ask that you please show me the seance vision again. Very well. Alright, what we got here? Got some weirdo. He's got a bag. I can smell something. There's a song going. Oh, he's talking. Okay, he stopped talking. Oh, okay. Oh, now he's yelling. Oh, I'm dead now. That should be the commentary that plays. Wait a minute. Her benevolence said after the morning dance of devotion earlier, didn't she? I already know this, Phoenix. Don't tell me the answer. Isn't there something off about that? Oh, I didn't explicitly say it. Oh, but he's gonna make me do it, though. I'll use these arrows to select the insight I think is off. Okay, with the pain, the victim's vision went dark. There we go. Yes, this is the insight that sounded funny. Now I'll just carefully compare this insight with the seance vision. If I notice a sensation that seems contradictory, I'll tap select. Incense. This is it. This is the part of the vision that contradicts the insight. Now I'll just select the sensation I think is inconsistent and present it with X.
Objection!
Okay, wait just a moment. Yes? What is it, barbed head? You're saying the incident occurred after the morning dance of devotion, right? That's right. What of it? Then isn't it strange that Mr. Roll could still hear the Song of Ceremony?
Oh my, you're absolutely right.
Is that all that troubles you? Huh? What the victim heard was just a practice run of the Song of Ceremony. Practice run? What are you talking about? Mr. Payne, if you would. Certainly. Allow me to explain. The incident occurred in the interval between the morning and afternoon dances. During that time, the singers were practicing in the performance hall. Precisely. I was there as well, so I can corroborate this statement.
I see. So that what the victim heard was that practice session.
Ugh, there goes my contradiction. Okay, so they were practicing in this performance hall. That must be the room where Albie and I saw her benevolence dancing.
However, Mr. Payne, I admit one detail troubles me.
Ask away, your majesty.
It's a big temple. The performance hall and treasure room are quite far from each other. Could the song really be heard all the way in the treasure room?
He's right. It is a very big temple. Well, how about it, Mr. Payne? Your Majesty, have you forgotten? There are speakers in every room of Temple, including the treasure room. Why, though?
Oh, that's right.
Speakers? For what purpose? Are you serious, Mr. Bright? They're to broadcast the sacred music of the performance halls throughout the temple. That's why the victim could hear the song of ceremony in the seance vision. Yeah, but why would they have the speakers on for a practice run, though? It was the practice run going on in the performance hall, heard over the speakers. Alright, well, whatever. Oh, we not live anymore? Did we get fucked? Hang on. We did get fucked. Alright, guys, hang on. I guess this is something I have to look out for. Give me a second, guys. Alright, we're back in business. I don't know why that's happening. Okay.
Okay, that makes perfect sense, even to a feeble-minded old man like me.
Think nothing of it.
Now, if you wouldn't mind, could you please alter your insight for us?
Very well. Insight revised. Song is starting to become heard by speakers. I think I'm getting the hang of this. If I point out an inconsistency, she'll update her insights accordingly. So if I keep pointing things out, maybe I can knock all of her insights out of her after all. Better find another inconsistency, no matter how small. I got this, guys. Don't worry about it. Phoenix is going to tell me how to pause now. It's a bit hard to focus on the insights with the seance vision going. I'll try using the pause button to temporarily stop the vision. There, pause the vision. I think I can touch the flashing panels to jump to different parts of the vision. Okay, I'll try moving the Mitama mark to the flashing red panel there. Okay, now that I know how to get around in the seance visions, time to find inconsistencies between the insight and the vision. Alright. Okay. First we go on pause. Din, okay, Q, so whatever he was holding. Okay, with the pain, the victim's vision went dark. This is when he lost his life. However, if you'll notice, press play. His vision goes dark, and then pain. With the pain, the victim's vision went dark.
Objection!
I've played this in the trial version, so. You're saying the victim's field of vision went dark right after he was struck, correct? Of course, as anyone with eyes can see. Well, pardon me, but I must disagree. What? Your benevolence, please take another look at the exact moment the victim felt pain. Oh. Everything goes black, and then, only after that, the victim feels pain. Inconceivable. This places the order of events at odds with what you say happened. My word.
Palkunhaka. Pakulma matata. Benevolence, what is the meaning of this?
I cannot be wrong. My insights are beyond fallacy.
If what the defense says is true, this is a very grave matter indeed. Please forgive me, Your Benevolence, but I'm afraid this contradiction is something we simply can't ignore.
Objection!
Heh, now, let's not be too hasty, Your Majesty. I think I can clear this up.
You have something to add, Mr. Payne?
I'm in uncharted waters now, guys. That was the end of the demo right there. Okay, 1,000 apologies. It seems the prosecution has failed to make one tiny thing clear. And that would be? On the day of the incident, there was a power outage, a blackout, in one part of the temple. As I recall, the crime scene was in that sector. Oh, of course. The power outage must be why the crime's field of vision went dark. I apologize for neglecting to tell the court this detail. I'm afraid it slipped my mind. Or rather, you knew it all along and only letting it slip now that it's a convenient pain. The power outage knocked out both the lights and the speakers. Oh, that's a bad thing to say right there. There was a blackout there, was there? Well now. That explains everything, doesn't it? Does it not?
What do you mean, Your Benevolence? Please share your thoughts with us, if you would.
The blackout occurred when the accused and the victim were faced with one another. Fearing the victim would flee under cover of darkness, the accused swiftly brought his weapon down on the victim's head.
I see, that makes perfect sense, Your Benevolence.
So the victim was struck after the lights went out. The depth of your insight is awe-inspiring, Your Benevolence. Give her a hand, everyone. Well done. Long may you live and prosper. Hey, I want to live long and prosper too. Enough applause. You flatter me.
Now, Your Benevolence, in light of this new information...
Yes, of course. I will alter my insight. Okay. Okay, one can safely assume the accused struck the victim the moment after the blackout began. So much for my inconsistency. At least I was able to draw out some new info. And with new info comes a chance to find new inconsistencies. Now to compare the insights with the vision again and see what else I can dig up. Oh boy. Okay, let me watch this vision again. Okay, well there's incense. Song, ceremony, boy's voice. Okay, well the Song of Ceremony is playing the entire time, so... Okay, we're gonna need... Actually, no, this is good because it's got black on it, so... One can safely assume the accused struck the victim the moment after the blackout began. I assume it's this, but let me save just in case. I don't know if these are like going to be like the Athena things. If they're going to count towards my penalty thing. Safely assume the accused struck the moment. Let me just take a look at these. Yeah, I think this is right.
Objection!
Yes, I finally found it. This is the gaping hole I've been looking for. Your benevolence, as impressive as your spirit communion power is, it's not infallible. You never know when to stop talking, do you? I hope you realize your words are an insult to all adherents of Kuraianism.
Defense, watch what you say. If you don't mind that tongue of yours, you won't have one left to mind.
It's certainly not my intention to insult spirit mediums. But maybe I'm the one who needs to learn when to... I'm not the one who needs to learn when to stop talking. What malarkey. I believe you said a few moments ago that the victim could hear the Song of Ceremony thanks to the temple's speakers. But then, how do you explain how the victim could still hear the Song Ceremony even after the power went out? Oh, shit. This contradiction of the facts can only mean the Song of Ceremony Mr. Roll heard was not coming from the speakers. What? Impossible.
What are you saying? That the song he heard was coming directly from the performance hall?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the only possible explanation. But the scene of the
Crime was nowhere near the performance hall.
But there is another set of stairs. Right, the song couldn't make it all the way to the treasure room. Not unless... You mean to say... Yes, the treasure room was not the actual scene of the crime. It must have been somewhere else. Somewhere closer to the performance hall.
You can't be serious.
There was a glaring contradiction in the claims of her benevolence in the prosecution. Therefore, the defense insists this case be thoroughly re-examined. What? No.
This is completely unprecedented. An inconsistency in her benevolence's insights. Unbelievable.
Heed not his forked tongue, your majesty. These are but claims of a corrupt lawyer, a feeble ruse from a feeble mind.
But the contradiction revealed by the defense is undeniable. We can't just turn a blind eye to it.
But the defense assertion is, in the end, meaningless. Even if the location of the murder turned out to be different, it doesn't change what we've seen in the moment of the murder. Indeed, The accused is standing right there in front of the victim. Furthermore, the murder weapon remains raised above his head. My insights still stand. I hate to admit it, but she's right. Seance vision still makes the situation look really grim for Albie. Heh heh heh. I doubt even the defense can dream up an explanation as to why. The accused had his hands up over his head. Well, this defense dares to dream of making it out of this nightmare alive. You what? You still insist on trying to tear down my insights? Do you? You'd better be prepared to back up your claim. Remember what will happen to that tongue of yours if we find you are just wagging it. Of course I can back up my claim, just as soon as I think of something.
You appear to be fully prepared, defense. As the embodiment of this court, I give you permission to try and prove your claim, as long as you're willing to stake your life on it.
I concur, your majesty. Prepare the tongue shears. Chop chop. Chop chop chop.
Yes, let's have the bailiff fetch them. I think I saw a suitable pair in the basement. Chop chop.
Stop. I hear that lying lawyers have several tongues to spare. I'm sure he won't miss one. Yikes, these people are actually serious. I'm rather attached to my tongue. Think, Phoenix, think! Other than to raise a weapon, why would Albie have his hands up like that? I'll save here. Because of course I want to pick the wrong answer, but like, you know. If I'm going to lose a point, then I want to go back and get my life back. Ah, so that's why. The reason the defense had his hands up over his head can be explained by something in the crime photo. Okay, no, yeah, okay, so explain why he had his hands raised above his head. That's pretty obvious. Now, this gun right here. As in the seance vision, I witnessed the defendant raise both of his hands over his head yesterday.
You did? Where did you see such a thing?
When the police had their guns trained on him as they made their arrest.
Oh, are you saying?
The victim was a security guard, an armed one The defense proposes that the victim had pointed his firearm at Albie. And that's why the defendant's hands were raised in the air. Hakuna Matata! She just fainted. Damn, Phoenix. You should put that finger away before you kill someone. Who would have thought the seance could be interpreted that way? This is not possible. It can't be. Not bad for a total knockout. How dare that lawyer devil go against her benevolence? He's not better than that traitor straight traitorous snake. Durkee? Durka? I don't know. No, I can't believe it. A contradiction in the one of my insights? There has to be some kind of mistake. I won't accept it. That's right, Your Benevolence, and I won't accept it either. It goes against all we hold sacred. Throw him in jail immediately for Majesty. Something, I don't know. What? Yeah, you said it. Throw him in jail. Yes, make him pay for the way he disrespected her benevolence. These people are definitely not my fans right now. That's right, exterminate him. Let's go.
Peace! Give me peace. I said peace, bros. Now everyone, please calm down.
Is he? Your Majesty, please assign this black-hearted attorney a suitable punishment.
No, I can't charge him with
I don't know what that is. What? What? But why not, Your Majesty?
He was simply following the proper procedure for defending the accused. There's nothing unlawful about that.
But, Your Majesty, don't you want to wrap this trial up quickly? Why not just give your verdict? Then you can go home and make it up to your wife.
We can't end the trial now, not when we just learned new information about the case.
Your Majesty, not you too. You would honestly entertain the idea that my insight contains a contradiction?
I just saw it. Truly, it is shocking. In the 20+ years since the DC Act went into effect, such a thing has never occurred. To be honest, I didn't want to believe it either. But with his life on the line, the defense pointed out an inconsistency. And it is our duty to scrutinize it to the satisfaction of the law.
You dare go against the royal priestess, you non-believer?
No, my faith is as strong as ever. But I have a duty to make a fair ruling in this trial. If you insist on interfering with that process, your benevolence, I'm afraid I must request your removal from this courtroom, royal priestess or not.
What? I'll have you know.
Your benevolence! Please acquiesce in this, your benevolence.
If looks could kill, I won't forget this offense, barbed head. I do not admit defeat. I won't.
Bailiff, please see her benevolence out.
Your Mitama will face due retribution in the Twilight Realm. The demons there they'll pluck the barbs right out of your stupid head. Ha 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 ha, I hope your suffering will be super duper painful. and I hope they throw you in the lake, bring fire, and then I guess she's still just a teenager after all.
Now then, defense, Mr. Light, was it?
That's right. Your Majesty, Phoenix Wright.
Of course, Mr. Wright. My apologies. Well, now that we have this newly uncovered fact, I suggest we proceed with the arguments.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Yes, but do not misunderstand me. This does not mean I trust you completely. I will be keeping a close eye on you, so don't even think about lying to this court.
I understand, Your Majesty. Phew, maybe now we can finally run a real trial. Heh heh heh. Arguments, Your Majesty. Very well, I accept your challenge. Huh? What's with him? Heh heh heh. Oh, the look on your face, Mr. Wright. It's just too hilarious.
What's so funny, Mr. Payne?
The defense still doesn't get it. The truth he unearthed is going to bury him and his case instead. What do you mean by that, prosecutor? I told you, it's chief prosecutor. Yes, because that's the point to focus on right now. The defense is digging in its own grave. Consider this, Your Majesty. Why would the victim, a security guard, point a gun at the accused?
Oh!
Oh, indeed, because the accused was about to commit a theft. It's the only logical explanation. That does sound pretty logical, actually. It doesn't help the accused situation at all. If anything, it makes him look even more guilty.
Yes, I have to agree.
Allow me to spell out this truth the defense didn't bother to think out through. Mr. Roll came across the accused just as he was trying to steal the treasure. The guard pointed his gun at the accused, and just when the power went out, the accused murdered the victim and hid his body in the treasure room.
Gnurk!
A hand truck for moving heavy treasure around is stored in the treasure room. The accused could have easily moved the body with that. And after all that hard work to knock down those insights, backed into the old familiar corner once more.
Mr. Wright, do you have a rebuttal?
I'm drawing a total blank here. I hope you're ready to climb that scaffold.
I asked you a question, defense.
I've got nothing. I can't think of any grounds for an objection. The only thing to do at this point is ask the defendant himself what happened. But I don't know if Albie will cooperate with me or not. Albie? Will you tell us what really happened? You don't have to say anything, accused. Fall for his evil trap and you'll only dirty your own soul. Albie, you have to tell me the truth. I can't help you unless you do. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry. Why? Why won't he trust me? Is this it? Is this the end? For both of us? Objection. Maya, sorry. I never met a real lawyer before. Everybody always told me they're bad people who help dirty criminals go free. I never thought a lawyer would actually try to help me, would actually believe in me, would risk his own life for me. Never would have even imagined it. Albie. So that's why I lied, to try and save myself. But I'm not going to lie anymore. If you believe in me enough to put your life on the line, then I'm going to believe in you too. Well, I'll be damned. You get it? That was a little joke. What? Allow me to explain. Now we're talking. Time to finally get to the bottom of things. To be honest, I went into the treasure room lots of times to look at the treasure box.
Even the temple told you weren't allowed to go anywhere near it?
Yes, I'm sorry. Mr. Roll even saw me once and scolded me. But that box is so beautiful. The way it glows in the dark, I couldn't help myself. Glows in the dark. Wait, it glows in the dark? That's right. It's covered in this special mineral called fluorinite that makes it glow. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's really a shame they don't put it on display for the public. Can you imagine how many people would go on night tours of the temple if they did? If only he applied such passion to telling me the truth earlier. Okay. Memory weapon it was forced open. Its contents were stolen. Glows in the dark. Okay. Okay. On the day of the incident, I was on my way to the treasure room again, when I ran into Mr. Roll on the great stairs.
So, those were not the treasure room stairs in the seance vision?
No, they were the great stairs that connect to the hallway. Makes sense, the vision wasn't clear enough to show us what was at the top of the stairs. Temple diagram added to the court record. Okay, diagram depicting the temple treasure room area. I'll just take a look at the map, just in case. Okay. So there's the chamber, the performance hall, and the treasure room. And a storeroom. Okay. All of a sudden, Mr. Roll drew his gun and threatened me with it. I quickly put my hands up. Mr. Roll, he acted so scary. For some reason, he had his scarf over his mouth. I couldn't read his expression at all. Just then the power went out, so I took the chance to hightail it out of there. I ran for my life, even now when I try to think back on it. All I can remember are the gun and the piercing look in Mr. Roll's eyes. That must have been when I dropped the notice scroll, which means someone else brought it to the treasure room along with Mr. Roll's body. Did Mr. Roll say anything to you when you ran into him on the stairs? What is it, Albie? I have no idea why, but he asked me a strange question. Did you steal it? He said. What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't say all this before. I didn't think anybody would believe me. Hehehe, a grand speech. One that confirmed my suspicions that you were the thief.
Objection!
But that might have just been the victim's misunderstanding.
Objection!
Where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say. The victim must have had good reason to be suspicious of the accused. Why does every new piece of information have to be so incriminating? Shadow. What do I do, Shadow? And what better reason to suspect the boy than seeing the treasure box in his hands? In the course of his rounds, the victim must have noticed that the treasure had been stolen. And then, just after that, he ran into the accused. I'll be your guide. No, that's not what happened, though. Therefore, the one who stole the treasure and killed the victim can be none other than the accused. Arrgh. Is that a puppy? I love puppies. What now? Hey, Shadow, down boy.
Well, what do we have here?
I'm sorry about this. This is my dog, Shadow. Or I guess it's Shadow, but I'm just gonna call him Shadow. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Yeah, look at that.
You nearly gave me a heart attack.
So that's what was making his bag move. Can you quiet that yappy mutt down? Shadow says that Mr. Roll made a mistake. You can understand him? Heh heh heh. Don't tell me this is a surprise witness for the defense.
I beg your pardon? You're not thinking of cross-examining an animal, are you?
Of course not, Your Majesty. Not this time, anyway.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thought I'd have to reassess my assessment of your sanity for a second there.
I think I'd better reassess my strategy, and fast. I have to somehow show that somebody else could have struck the victim or were sunk. While it's true that the defendant was standing in front of the victim when he died, it doesn't mean that somebody else couldn't have struck the victim at the time.
If you're going to go that far, then I hope this means you have another angle of approach already.
Exactly. I mean, who but the accused standing in front and center could have done it? Unless you can back up your claim. It's nothing more than conjecture. Okay, come on, Phoenix. Now I can think up something convincing. Where else could the victim have been struck from? Where else? What? Gonna save. Okay, and I want to check the court record. Okay, cerebral contusion from a head injury. What part of the head, though? Well, the blood does appear to be on the back of his head, to be honest. Instead of the front. Yeah, because his head's to the side, so I'm just going to say from behind then. So right here.
Take that!
With the defendant standing in front of the victim, isn't it possible that the victim could have been struck from behind?
From behind, you say? I see. Yes, I suppose it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Good. Now at least I have some breathing room.
But who do you suppose it could have been?
Oh, the true culprit, naturally. The one who actually committed the theft and murder.
The true culprit? And I suppose you have a truth timeline of events to go along with that?
I should have known I'd have to explain everything. Alright. If we assume the true culprit struck the victim from behind, then that means... broke in, stole the treasure, got out. After going to the treasure room and stealing the treasure, the true culprit tried to escape. But then Mr. Roll appeared making its rounds. I imagine the culprit then quickly hid in the storeroom at the other end of the hallway. Heh, heh, heh. Oh, but all this treasure's... Okay, you're grasping at straws, Mr. Wright. Admit it, you have nothing but baseless conjecture. I'm going to look for something to base it on right now. Albie? When you ran into Mr. Roll in the hallway, was there anyone around this storeroom area? I don't know. There might have been somebody there, but I couldn't see. I was only halfway down the stairs, so I couldn't see the ends of that hallway. I see. Swing and a miss. Oh! Shadow says someone was there. Did he smell him? I see. Thank you for that. Too bad his testimony is inadmissible. Heh heh heh. You think this is a joke? Maybe the defendant didn't happen to see the other person, but that doesn't mean the true culprit couldn't have been there in that hallway.
Objection!
Your desperate floundering is getting hard to watch, but I will enjoy watching you sink. What are you talking about? Unfortunately for you, only the accused and the victim were there in the hallway at the time of the incident. How can you continue to make that assertion? Because there was a witness. A very reliable eyewitness. Well, what? But doesn't that mean that, you know, there's another person there? Your Majesty, the prosecution would like to call its witness to the stand.
Calling an eyewitness to the stand? It's been decades since that's happened.
And unlike the defense's witness, you can rest assured that there are no pets involved. That was a low blow.
Very well. I'll allow it. And now, for something we've not heard in quite some time. Bring the witness to the stand.
Oh, it was him. Please state your name and occupation. Peace, love, understanding. Peace, love, and understanding. It's the name. I'm like, Temple's head monk. Can you dig? Bruh? We have to find our, center.
Oh, visiting instructor and understanding. You're the eyewitness?
Can we just call him like Andy or something? Instructor? Not only is Mr. Andestandin Temple's head monk, but he's also a renowned Damalan expert. Sorry to have to ask, but what's a Damalan? Check it. Here she is, my sweet serenader, my one and only. Groovy, right? But you heard our sultry sounds once before, brother. Win. Draw. Gun. And. Tiger. Okay. That's the song from the Dance of Devotion. Right on, brother. The Song of Ceremony. Yeah. Playing this tune together is a precious gig for me and my girl here, you dig? Song of Ceremony, the song that was playing at the time of the murder. Oh, Holy Mother, may the righteous sounds of my Damalan serve as my offering to you.
Wonderful. A great performance as always.
This is my thing, you know, my bag. I make instruments speak, baby. Yeah. By the by, Majesty Pops, no Damalan class today.
No, I'm afraid this trial has gone into overtime, thanks to the lawyer over there.
The class the judge wanted to attend was a Malhan class? Lesson? I don't know if that's how you say it again, guys. Well, you know what they say, baby. Never trust the lawyer man. But transgressors against the Holy Mother have to be brought to justice. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Understanding. Okay, and the treasure's keeper. As treasure's keeper, you must have been shocked to learn it had been stolen. Yeah, man. That was not cool. Keeping the treasure safe is one of your duties, Mr. Understanding. That's right, brother. This here's the one and only treasure box key. And I keep it on me at all times, can you dig? But the sneaky thief went and cracked open that sucker anyway. Total bummer, man. So that's the key to the treasure box, is it? You know it, baby. It's called the Magatama Key, and it's a historical artifact to boot. It's been passed down from head monk to head monk at Temple. The Magatama Key, huh? The sole key for opening the treasure box. Understanding keeps it on his person at all times. And we know that the thing was forced open, so... And now someone's jacked the treasure on my watch. It's a real buzzkill, man. How am I ever gonna face Her Holiness again? Oh, Holy Mother, please find it in your infinite mercy to forgive me. Please guide this lost and humble lamb. Why do I always get the far out ones? Mr. Understanding, you witnessed the accused and the victim heading to the treasure room? You know it, baby. Best believe I scoped that tiny transgressor.
Would you please give the court your testimony regarding what you saw?
I'm doing voices again. To bring justice against the transgressor, man, yes, of course, I'll do all I can. In the name of Her Holiness, I vow to say naught but the truth. And I swear to bring it. Hit me.